Ahead on the noon show, we got some gusty conditions out there. I'll show you just how long they'll last coming up in that full forecast.
And what if you knew a flood was coming before it hit? The new Texas plan to make that possible. And Pentagon leaders say the ceasefire with Iran is still in place despite new attacks. Coming up, what the administration is saying about its new effort to help commercial ships travel the Strait of Hormuz. Thanks so much for joining us for the noon show. I'm Maranjali Lopez here with Joel Robinson at the desk for this very windy and humid day across East Texas.
It sure is, absolutely. You've got some winds out there and got the clouds as a result of the humidity out there. And luckily the winds won't be lasting too much longer. If you have any Cinco de Mayo plans for this evening, I think you're going to be in good shape. But taking a look outside, yeah, very cloudy, very gloomy. I don't think there's going to be many signs of any sunshine for today, unfortunately. But look at the winds right out of the southwest, anywhere between 15 and 20 miles per hour. Look at Sulphur Springs, up to about 24 miles per hour. These are sustained winds. The gusts, they're approaching 30 to 35 miles per hour through the lunchtime hours, and they'll continue to be that way at least through the middle of the afternoon. Future winds show that the winds will begin to die down, especially towards the evening, with sustained winds out of the southwest, anywhere between 10 and 15 miles per hour. Temperatures as we go into the rest of the afternoon approaching the middle to upper 80s. We've got some warm air coming up from the south, and again, we'll continue to stay fairly gloomy throughout the rest of the evening. Now, this will set the stage for some thunderstorm chances heading into the area for your Wednesday. We got a weather impact alert out for the potential for some strong to severe thunderstorms. We'll take a look at future skycasts and the rest of the details coming up in that full 10-day forecast.
All right, thanks so much, Joel. The United States says the threshold to restart combat operations in Iran has not yet been reached, even after the U.S. and Iran exchanged fire in the Strait of Hormuz Monday. Natalie Brand has more details from the White House.
No, the ceasefire is not over.
Pentagon leaders this morning say the pause in fighting between the U.S. and Iran is still in place, even after Iran fired missiles at U.S. and foreign ships on Monday. American forces responded, sinking 6 Iranian fast boats.
The threshold of restarting is a political decision above my pay grade. What I'll say is it's low, harassing fire right now. It feels like Iran is grasping at straws.
President Trump warned he will hit Iran hard if they strike U.S. ships, but says his preference remains a deal.
They don't like playing games with us. They don't like it at all. You'll see that. As time goes by, you're going to see it. I think you've already seen it. We basically wiped out their military in about 2 weeks.
The administration is giving new details about Operation Project Freedom, creating a secure zone to help commercial ships transit the Strait of Hormuz.
American destroyers are on station, supported by hundreds of fighter jets, helicopters, drones, and surveillance aircraft, providing 24/7 overwatch for peaceful commercial vessels.
Iran's foreign minister warned that the U.S. should not get dragged into what it called a quagmire by, quote, ill-wishers, and called Project Freedom Project Deadlock.
We're communicating both overtly and quietly to the Iranians to allow this defensive operation to happen on behalf of the world.
Iran is also continuing its attacks today on a key U.S. ally, the United Arab Emirates. The UAE says its air defense systems intercepted cruise missiles and drones from Iran one day after attacks sparked a fire at an oil facility. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
And those new attacks on the UAE today come after the Emirates Defense Ministry said it intercepted 15 missiles and 4 drones fired from Iran on Monday. Well, 3 things to note right now here at noon. Global oil prices are easing slightly after a record high on Monday. Brent crude closed above $114. This is the highest this year. Gas prices ticked up 2 cents, averaging at about $4.48 a gallon nationwide. Now here in Texas, the average for unleaded sits at $3.98 a gallon. Experts warn prices could hit an average of $5 nationwide if shipping through the Strait of Hormuz stays disrupted. Number 2, a deadly explosion at a fireworks plant in China has left at least 26 people dead and dozens injured. That blast happened Monday with fires and sporadic explosions continuing as rescuers searched the scene. Officials say large amounts of gunpowder and collapsed buildings made that response dangerous. And happening today, 2 Texas universities are teaming up to help prevent another disaster like the deadly July 4th floods. that claimed more than 100 lives in the Texas Hill Country. UT Arlington received a major grant from the state and will be working with Rice University to develop a real-time flood warning system. The project will use advanced weather monitoring, radar data, and computer modeling to predict where floodwaters will go and how deep they could get. Researchers say the goal is to give community and emergency crews more time to act. When continuing coverage now, a St. Augustine County man will spend 99 years in prison after a deadly crossbow attack. A jury found Lorenzo White guilty of murdering 33-year-old Brian Blue. Investigators say in December of 2022, Blue is found unresponsive after being shot in the back with a crossbow. His vehicle was also missing. Authorities later find White driving that truck, where he admitted to murder. All right, voters in Tyler will be heading back to the polls in June, this time to decide who will lead the city of Tyler. Stuart Haney and John Nix are heading into a runoff for mayor. Former city councilman and business owner Nix says his campaign is centered on fixing core issues like roads, water quality, and how the city spends tax dollars. Meanwhile, current councilman Haney says he wants to keep Tyler moving forward, focusing on economic growth, transparency, and support for first responders.
I'm the only candidate in the race that has been endorsed by both the police department and the fire department. So they know my work ethic. They know my commitment, not just to them, but the city of Tyler. So I'm honored to have their support.
I really believe people should vote for me because I am here to bring back fiscal responsibility, to make sure that we're watching taxpayer dollars, to make sure that we're protecting our families and protecting our children in every aspect, that we're protecting our children's future by not putting a burden on them.
Both candidates say they'll spend the next several weeks meeting voters and sharing their vision for the city. Moving on to Longview, it was a close election for the District 3 City Council seat, but with no outright winner, Brandon Smith and Marlena Cooper are now heading into a runoff. Unofficial results show Brandon Smith with just over 37% of the vote, followed by Marlena Cooper with 30%. And both say they're focused on improving infrastructure, addressing community needs, and building stronger connections across the district.
I want people to understand that for a long time, if they felt underrepresented, that this is their opportunity to have the representation that they want.
They need someone who's going to be a strong voice for them, who's going to listen. You know, I'm not coming in with my own agenda. I don't have my own plans or what I feel like things should look like, what it should be. You know, it's about what you feel like.
Early voting for the runoff starts June 1st, with Election Day set for Saturday, June 13th. Highland Dairy in Tyler is ramping up production at its newly expanded Tyler facility, now one of its largest and most advanced plants. The nearly 96,000 square foot upgrades adds new processing, packaging, and storage capabilities. This is boosting efficiency and output. Company leaders call it a major milestone that strengthens service across Texas and surrounding markets. The expansion also supports local job growth and positions at Highland Dairy to deliver more of its fresh products to East Texas families. All right, still ahead here on the Noon Show, we got to meet this adorable pup. Hudson is coming in. He is an 8-week-old beagle mix with a big personality. That's coming up. And it's Cinco de Mayo, also Taco Tuesday. Talk about a combo. So if you're celebrating today, you don't have to spend time digging through the deals. We got that for you just ahead.
And we got some new data coming into the Weather Center about the severe thunderstorm risk for tomorrow. I'll share all the details with you coming up after the break. All right, welcome back, everybody. A very gloomy picture here on our satellite and radar. We got a cold front off to the north and a dry line off to the west. There is some dry air making its way well above the surface, and that's kind of providing a little bit of a capping inversion here across the area. What does that mean? That means that air can't really rise freely past this deck of clouds that we got going on right now. So that kind of limits our thunderstorm chances for this evening unless we get strong enough forcing from that cold front to move in. Now, there is a small chance if a storm can fire for this evening or even into the overnight, the best chance for it to be severe is going to be north of the I-20 corridor as far south as Athens. This is a 2 out of 5 risk for severe thunderstorms. And then as that cold front continues to move its way to the south, the rest of us here in East Texas will be under a 2 out of 5 risk for scattered strong to severe thunderstorms. In the hazards that we're watching for, the two main ones, the two big ones, are damaging winds and large hail. Now, these storms will have the potential to be a little bit more elevated, so that means that they'll have a better chance of producing hail, but a lower chance of producing a tornado. Now, we'll have to watch if these storms end up firing ahead of the cold front, which some of them might. That kind of enhances our tornado risk just a little bit, but if they were to fire just on top of the cold front or behind it, they'll have a better chance of producing hail. Either way, definitely a time to be weather aware. We're talking about the 3 a.m. to 9 p.m. time frame for Wednesday, so a long time frame. Scattered thunderstorms will be likely throughout the day, with the potential to produce some tree damage and even some window damage as well from the large hail and even some gusty winds. So make sure to have multiple ways of receiving weather alerts, including our CBS19 app. We'll send you some notifications for your specific location. And of course, as always, make sure to have that plan in place, have that safe spot in place should severe weather move in your direction. Now, this evening, a thunderstorm or two could fire up. It's possible. If this cold front were to break through this cap, there could be a couple of thunderstorms that'll be very brief north of the Interstate 20 corridor. But it looks like, as far as some of the latest data sets go, the more intense thunderstorms will be moving in as we head into the early hours of Wednesday. There will be a little bit of a break between say around 8 o'clock to around noon on Wednesday, and then more showers and thunderstorms will begin to roll in, with a couple of them having the potential to produce some of those severe hazards. And then we're off to a much cooler start on your Thursday, with temperatures in the low to mid 50s, even some low 60s possible across the area, and then only making our way up into the low to mid 70s for your Thursday afternoon, and there will be some peaks of sunshine. Here's your 10-day forecast. So again, weather impact alert out from 3 a.m. to 9 p.m. on Wednesday. Long time frame. Definitely stay weather aware. Then all dry for Thursday. Fairly dry on Friday and into Saturday. Temperatures up to about 86, then 87 on Sunday, with some evening thunderstorm chances. Then back down to the low 80s as we move into Monday.
CBS 19 Tuesday Tales is sponsored by Pelche Subaru.
Okay, we've got an energetic one today. His name is Hudson, and he's just a little baby at 8 weeks. Karen from the SPCA of East Texas, always a joy to have you here.
Thank you.
Karen, tell us about Hudson.
He loves his cookies. I'm glad I brought some today. He is an 8-week-old male. We feel like he is a beagle mix. 8 weeks, look at these paws. He's going to be a big guy.
Yes, he is.
He will probably be, at least 60 pounds. He is full of energy. He may see himself on TV, good. He would need an active family. Here you go. Believe it or not, he does settle. He is working on his crate training and not quite working on a leash yet.
Yeah.
But working on crate training, housebreaking, and he would love to have another dog to play with.
Absolutely.
Or some young children to play with.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, a family with young kids, or, an active family that likes to take walks or runs would be perfect for our little Hudson here. Talk to us about, where you guys found him and, what would be the ideal situation?
Okay, so he was found on a county road as a single puppy. Unsure what happened to the other ones, but we were able to save Hudson thanks to a good Samaritan. He has been neutered and microchipped and vaccinated. He's looking for a forever home, someone that will, attend puppy classes, which it's a fun thing to go to puppy classes. And we offer with every adoption 4 free puppy classes at our office.
That's sweet. Okay, that's good to know.
4 free group sessions with Canine Connections dog training. And make sure you bring a lot of treats. I do have some in my pocket. Anyway, so we want to make it a win-win. Puppies need training and owners need training.
Absolutely.
But Hudson will be at our adoption event, which is this Saturday at our office on 3245 West Grande, 10 until 4.
Okay, well,
Hudson will be there. Puppies, kittens. Okay, wild man.
He's just going crazy because he's excited to be on TV, meet all of you. Hey, go out there on Saturday and check out Hudson and all the other cute dogs, kittens, and cats they've got up for adoption. Karen, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
We'll be right back. Okay. Got it. All right, we talked about it earlier. What a combo of a day. We've got Cinco de Mayo, we got Taco Tuesday, and there's a lot going on in East Texas tonight. Javi's is going to have a full celebration on the water. You can expect food, margaritas, of course, and live mariachi. That starts at 7 o'clock, and then the fireworks will be lighting up the sky over the water right at 8:30. We'll have our Nayeli Carrillo there this evening. It's going to be a grand old time. And if you're looking to go out and celebrate Cinco de Mayo without breaking the bank, we have found a couple of deals for you. BJ's Brewhouse is offering their Brewhouse Margarita for just under $6. Or how about a $5 tequila classic marg or a $7 Patron frozen marg from Chili's? That's not your thing. You could snag $5 queso bowls at Chuy's or a free queso or guac from Chipotle with the purchase of an entree. And if you're wanting Torchy's rewards, then you can get $2 nachos all day.
Happy Cinco de Mayo. This is one holiday, like the 4th of July, that you don't have to ask, what date does it fall on? Since Cinco de Mayo in Spanish means the 5th of May. But what you might get asked is, what are we having for dinner to celebrate it? Well, when you tell them shrimp chimichangas, they'll come running. I'll show you. After sauteing some frozen fried shrimp until they're crispy, we place them on a cutting board and chop them up so they're about the size of an almond. Now we mix them with some thawed corn along with a bit of chopped cilantro. And since we started with frozen corn and shrimp, it makes it really weeknight friendly. After giving it a good mix, we spoon this into flour tortillas along with a generous amount of cheese. We fold them up in the shape of an envelope and put them on a cookie sheet, seam side down, and give them a spritz of cooking spray before popping them in the oven. While they're baking, you can whip up an easy cilantro avocado sauce to serve over them. Once you bite into these, you'll love how all the flavors come together. And according to all of our taste testers here, you could eat this sauce on practically anything. It's that good. I hope you'll go online and get the recipe for our shrimp chimichangas as a way to celebrate Cinco de Mayo or really any day. I'm Howard with Kelly in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow, which will be the 6th of May, for even more Ooh, It's So Good.
All right, one more look at that 10-day forecast. We got some warm temperatures on tap for this afternoon. Some mostly cloudy skies that'll continue to linger for this evening. Now, there could be a storm or two just around the I-30 corridor right around 7 o'clock. That is if we can really squeeze it out. But I think the better chance for storms will be after 3 o'clock in the morning for tomorrow morning and then all the way through 9 p.m. So it's a big time frame that we're watching for. So that's why we do have that weather impact alert out. We have the chance for some severe weather as well.
All right, so we'll keep an eye on that. And if you're planning to celebrate Cinco today on a patio, just make sure that you're hydrating. It will be warm.
Absolutely.
Thanks so much for joining us for the noon show. We'll see you here tomorrow. Tune in at 5 o'clock.